Hello, everyone, and welcome. Oh my god, I went to the wrong thing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of PairOfSocks Lost here on Hero Club Live. We are Hero Club, and this is not the main thing we do on Hero Club. No. The main thing we do is our podcast, where we take our TTRPG sessions that we record live around the table, and we edit down painstakingly, I might add, with sound effects and music into these tight, taut little audio anthologies. We got all kinds of genres, and you can go listen to any of them. Name them if I have to, sure. Okay, so here's the thing. We have noir, and then we have gothic western, and then we have space, and then we have Christmases of multiple varieties. We have stoner flicks, we have slasher flicks, we have werewolves and moonshine. That one's hard to get the genre of, but it's werewolves. It's kind of spooky. It's werewolves. And then we have Tarantino send-ups. We have animal pirates, a lot of animal pirates. If you want animal pirates, boy howdy do we have a shit ton of animal pirates for you. We have adventure. We have full adventure. If you like Atlantis and the Mummy and Indiana Jones, go ahead and listen to that one. And if I missed any, just, you know what? Let me know in the comments, but here on Hero Club Live, we just sit around and play some good old-fashioned Dungeons and Dragons. I am your Dungeon Master for this evening, Dylan McCullum, and I will tell you so much more about this campaign in a second, but first, let's meet our players. Let's start with John. John, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and anything else you would like to say.
Hello, my name is John Madison. I'm playing Tone Zazuru, a level 9 arcane chef. Wizard. It's really chef flavoring on a wizard. And I just started yoga again, and I feel great. And the sign language I'll teach you today is Whistle Pig Kid in sign language, which is for whistle. This is whistle. You take it like you pretend to be whistling. That's whistle. And then pig is this. Mm-hmm. That's pig. And then kid is like you're saying like stinky kid, so you're going like this, like ooh, they're stinky with your hand.
Thank you for that, John. Sometimes I even wonder, like, there are some people here who for sure remember why we say Whistle Pig Kid before we go live, but there are some people that are like, I have no idea, and I will leave you to find that out on your own. I won't tell you what season or if it's a season.
All you have to do is spend 200 hours.
You have to be a completionist to understand it, okay? That's an inside joke. What?
I thought it was like you said it right before, like to account for the delay it takes to get, like from. I didn't even know who like you were saying that to the audience.
You thought it was like it was specifically well timed to know when the like. Jasmine.
Yes.
Jasmine, tell everyone who you are, who you're playing, and explain yourself.
Hello, I'm Jasmine. I play Zara. She is a level 9 rogue fighter warlock. She's also a doll. She's very creepy. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I don't have to explain myself.
Nice, good.
Yeah, no, you know what? Never explain yourself to anyone, especially me. And let's go down to the person who for sure knows why we do it. Hannah, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and anything else you would like to say.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I know exactly why we say Whistle Pig Kid. Mm-hmm. And I play Marabella Graveneye, a level 9 cleric of the Grave Domain. Dig a hole, put it in there, bury it up top, put a flower on it. Marabella. And one interesting ecological fact that I found out was that in the buffer zone between North and South Korea, ecologists have identified like thousands of different species that are thriving there, and they're all like these rare species. So there's like 2,900 plant species, 70 mammal species, and 320 bird species that are thriving in that zone, which is I thought was ecologically interesting, and I teach science.
So cool.
Is that just because like no one goes there?
It's because no one goes there.
If there were humans on this planet, plants and animals would
kind of like how during COVID they were like, hey, everything's actually going fine with
wow,
outside.
the air quality
the air quality is great.
It's the air quality immediately. The ozone layer healed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, actually another fun fact about like right at the beginning of COVID, Los Angeles had the best air quality out of any major city in the world. Like
That's
for
such
because
a
everyone
bummer.
stopped driving.
It's such a
Insane.
it's such an obvious truth that is just like so clearly there. Anyway, we are of course missing a Marty Abby Schneider, a Golzog. I'm sure we'll all miss Marty lounging on a couch in pain. But you know, we can't have everything, can we?
He's probably still doing that in
He's
spirit.
probably still doing that somewhere. He's fine, by the way. He's just not here. He will be back with us next time. He'll be back with us next time for episode, and can you believe it, gang? I can. Episode 50 of PairOfSocks Lost. I can't believe that. We are getting close to the end there, gang. 50 episodes.
Is Zara missing
Wild.
the socks?
Huh?
Is that it? Is it Zara's socks? Did she lose a pair of socks?
Is she
Is
the
that
one who
the
lost the
thing
socks?
she lost?
Oh.
I don't think we've ever addressed who the socks belong to. Where do the fucking socks come from?
We'll get there. That'll be the last thing I say before we sign off. In
I'm gonna make an
tears,
insight
in
check, a
full
history check.
tears,
We're
I'll
all in
explain
tears.
what the socks were. But I am your Dungeon Master, Dylan McCullum. This is PairOfSocks Lost. It is, I guess at this point, by episode 50, I can say it is loosely based off of the 5e adventure book Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
The third cousin.
It is like, so here's what this campaign is like. It's like if someone told you the names in the book while you were half asleep on an airplane, and then someone else asked you, what is that book about? And you went, oh, and then you decided to say it. That's what this is. It is so loosely based that my players could read that book cover to cover and I wouldn't feel any fear. There's no problem. You're fine. I wear my inspiration on my sleeve. I'll explain it even more later in the episode, but basically, Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, Peter Pan, Narnia, Phantom Tollbooth. If a little British child got spirited away to another world, that's my shit, baby, and that's what I put into this campaign, and then I made my friends become the main characters, and boy howdy, have we gone places. But anyway, thank you for being here. Yeah. Is everyone ready for the recap? We had a lot.
Shopping! Oh.
Yes.
You know, it's great to understand that after, weaving together different factions and worlds and stuff like that for like 43 episodes, I realized like, oh, I could have just had them shop for all of that time and every one of my players would have been stoked. It would have been fine.
Think about how many bomber jackets I could have gotten that Marty would have had to draw.
Chat, you have to know that when we were shopping and when Hannah specifically was picking out a bomber jacket, Marty was in the chat furious.
Yes.
Not quite as mad as every time I've played a character that has ringlets. It was my favorite reaction saying that, and she has ringlets, and Marty's like, fuck.
I think you did that for Holly, and then that was the first time it happened, and it ruined him.
And then again for spooky werewolf moonshine season, and I just looked over at him, I was like, so she has blonde ringlets, and he's like, ah. No, he sighed. I can still mentally hear the sigh that exited Marty's body, and it honestly gave me strength.
As does all things. Okay, let's get into the recap, shall we, gang? Big things happened. Last we left off, our party entered into a tentative truce and partnership with the Darling family, specifically with John Darling, someone who they had been at odds with, at least with his lackeys, for lack of a better word. He explained to them that in this broken, dark world, he had lost himself a little bit. Thinking that both of his siblings had died, his true purpose for leaving this world, breaking the curse, became more of a destructive path. and he lost sight of what was good and true. Still warming up to his own new truth, he helped you interrogate the White Rabbit, who now, struck with almost paralyzing fear, answered virtually every single one of your questions with ease, telling you all about a back door that the Queen of Glass had into this city, a teleportation circle that they would use close to the Weaver's lair, and also close to the familiar patch that no one had seen or heard of before. It is in this time that you all started trying to figure out a plan to combat the Queen of Glass's whole idea of what was going to happen. You knew that she was trying to paint you all as her villains in the story in which she is the hero. She was potentially going to pin the disaster, the destruction of Fable Rise, if it is to happen, on you all, to paint you all as threats. So you all came up with a plan, a very risky plan, to plant 2 stories into the news cycle. One story, very simple but effective, a puff piece about David's. Honestly, very simple to implement. But then there was the real challenge. Using what you had to fabricate a story that fit into her own narrative. That the Queen of Hearts, her villain, seemingly eternal villain, the villain she constantly fought against, the villain that she could not shake, the villain that for generations, centuries, had a reshuffling deck that she just couldn't shake. Well, you had the Queen of Hearts' head severed and dead. You were her champions. The Queen of Glass's champions, having killed the Queen of Hearts, you ended the war. A very risky story. There are many in the city who wouldn't want that to be true. Many who wouldn't want anything written about the Queen of Glass. Potentially even multiple of the founders of this city. One of which you even know is a spy of hers. And yet, with a group DC check, beating a DC of an 85, group DC 85, getting to a DC 100 exactly, it went flawlessly. The story went out, and everyone in Fable Rise started to question, what does that mean? Can we go down to the surface? The war is over. Are we free? What will happen next? What will this hero, the Queen of Glass, what will she do next now that she has vanquished this evil queen? There are rumblings in the city of Fable Rise that maybe, just maybe, the Queen of Glass might even break the curse on this land of Prismere. Why wouldn't she? It would be very interesting if, after all this time, the Queen of Glass didn't do such a thing. But we don't have to dwell on that just yet. Because in a week, the festivities begin. The Founders' Day Parade festivities. Multiple magical things happening. They're all coming together. And our party has a week to prepare. Multiple things to prepare. And this is how we're going to do it, gang. I have already talked to my players about this before. I will tell chat what's going on. I am taking, as I said, I wear my inspiration on my sleeve. I am taking this almost wholesale from Brennan Lee Mulligan and Dimension 20 on the latest Dimension 20 season. There is a system that he uses for downtime that I thought was very cool. If you haven't seen it, I think it's even cooler in their system just based off of what's going on. But how we're going to do this is that there are multiple things our party wants to accomplish, multiple things that our party wants to look into. We have multiple plots going on in the city. We have multiple founders that they may want to have conversations with. They have multiple mysteries that they may want to get solved. They have multiple multiple things they want to get ready for. There's the masquerade. There's the fighting pits. There is the Lollipop Guild you might want to look into further. There is, of course, the cooking competition. We have to figure out who's actually fighting in the cooking competition. If anyone wants to help out one of the other people in your party, find out things about competitions or anything like that. There is getting ready for the competitions, making sure that maybe you have enough people helping you in the cooking competition, making sure you have recipes prepared, maybe going on dates with people you want to go on dates with, whatever you want to do in this week of downtime. Those are all priorities. I'm going to be going around and asking each of my players what their priorities are. Basically, they're each going to make a check with whatever they decide they want that check to be based off of what the activity is. And depending on what it is, we'll roleplay that scene out. But these are all going to impact how things go in the week of festivities going forward. How it will work is that if it's your main priority, if it's the thing you're focused on during the week, it's a DC 5. Low DC, it should be easy for you to do that because you've been focusing on it. Everything past your main priority will be a higher DC. If you hit the DC, meaning you just hit the DC, yeah, sure, you've done it, you've succeeded at it, but you've just kind of done a passing grade at it. You've just kind of done an okay job at it. You've succeeded, but you haven't excelled at it. So of course, if you want to excel at something, that should be your priority. If you want to do only 3 things, hey, the DC only gets to 15, but you've only done 3 things. If you want to do a few other things, the DC will get pretty high pretty fast. We're gonna
What are we adding to them?
Well, that's it's gonna be your check. It's gonna be like a check that you do, like if depending on what you're actually asking to do, like a normal.
Right.
Like they're essentially skill checks. Like it's a bunch of skill checks.
So it depends.
It depends, and also, like I said, it depends on like how much you hit it by. Like it'll get to a point where, yeah, you can easily beat the check, but like by how much, right? Like how much did you actually succeed at it, or did you just kind of do it? You know.
Gotcha.
So in this week of downtime, also, before we get to it, I just wanted to mention, just as we're heading to episode 50, because I was just thinking about it, that like we haven't had much downtime. It happens with every D&D campaign ever in the world, which is that we've been with these characters for like a year and a half, but canonically, if you look at how many like long rests they have, it's been like 2 months, and it's just it's so funny when you think about that. But I will say this:
we've had a summer abroad.
You've had a summer
2
abroad.
months actually is surprising. I thought it was less.
I think it is less, but I will say, because I introduced this mechanic, because I introduced the Lost Children, and were canonically gaps in your memory.
Oh, that's right.
Technically, we can.
Maybe it's a gap year.
Yes, technically we can say that you have been together for as long as you want to have been together, and you can make up whatever
it's been 10
stupid
years.
You can make up whatever stupid adventure you had gone on together that you want. I just wanted to say that because it's very funny to me. I was thinking about it today as I was writing things down. Okay, now into the game. Now let's play. I've been talking for way too long. Who wants to go first, and what are you trying to accomplish in this week? What is your first priority?
I can go.
Okay.
Or Jasmine, do you want to pop in? Go for it.
You're good.
Okay. I really only have like 3 things that I'm like interested in.
Okay.
First things first, shockingly not the date, but first I really want to get diamonds for Revivify, because otherwise there's no point in me having Revivify.
Okay.
So I don't have any diamonds. I don't know what fucking check that is. I do not have 500 gold, so I just yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think collectively we have 500.
Yeah, but
I know, but like I don't want to drain all of our gold on one fucking, you know?
Okay,
like
so
if there's...
this check is resources. Like this is like resource management. This is like preparation for this is like just general prep. This is general prep for like any scenario. So I guess this check could be either because you're kind of wheeling and dealing, it can either be a survival check, it can be a persuasion check.
I like the sound of a survival check.
I will say this, because this is one of those checks that I was saying earlier. Because the entire city considers you heroes, you will be making this specific check with advantage.
Okay.
And this is your priority because you're a good cleric.
This
is your priority.
Because I want to be good at my job.
Being very good at your job. You will have, it's a DC 5. John, did you have a question?
I did have a question.
What's up?
I know I shouldn't be helping until it's my turn, but could Tamaril help in some way, since Tamaril's a shopkeeper, probably has access to resources?
Tamaril will be part of this, yes, but it'll be depending on what's going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Survival check with advantage. That'll be 21.
21. Okay, yeah. That's 5. So that is you. So you have beat it by. That's 5. So you
16.
beat it by 16. So it's 15. You basically, as you're going around Marabella, and you aren't fully used to this kind of like living, like you were known growing up, within your own community, but it wasn't it was a small community, but there wasn't like a sense of reverence for everyone, and you. Going around, you see people kind of you've seen this before. People are it can only be described as almost like worshiping. Not worshiping in like a god sense, but like almost laying hands on you, like thanking you. They can sense that you have a holiness about you as you're going around now. That is that you would see back in the graveyard every so often when like very high up priests and priestesses would come and do special ceremonies over bodies that like people would worship. But like, you and your fathers, like the grave diggers and grave wardens, even though you were clerics, would never like be given that kind of reverence. As you walk through the streets of Fable Rise, people are taking notice, and especially with you walking along with that tiara on your head that like is very like ghoulish, like there's like a darkness to you, a very like happy Wednesday Addams-esque darkness, like dark circles, but like this beautiful crown as you walk along the streets in your bomber jacket, and people just
and overalls.
You see people start wearing bomber jackets and overalls a little bit more often.
I saw Katie Heron wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I went out and bought army pants and flip-flops.
You see it. Okay. You see the vision starts happening. It occurs for some reason Golzog's dismay. It starts happening. And you go, like, you gather up your like group's funds to do this, and Tamaril comes to you at one point as you're kind of going around shopping, and just goes like, "Oh dear, I wouldn't worry too much about that."
Oh. Also, hi.
Hello.
What do you mean? I need to look, I need diamonds.
All right.
Like for magic stuff. And she like does kind of a bad wink.
I think I know what you mean. I usually use them within like forging and things like that, but I for sure have noticed, for you especially, that you're very good when dabbling at the edge of life and death and that kind of thing.
You don't want anyone to I need the diamonds to bring people back to life that have died immediately. Oh god, that feels so much better. I don't know why I was being secretive. This is the Feywild. Weird shit happens all the time.
And that is quite the power. Don't you worry about it. I think this is going to be quite simple. Not many diamonds of that size, but let's see. As you're kind of going around in the city, you find that shopkeepers just kind of start handing gems to you, like putting them into your hand as like thanks. You get 4 diamonds.
Oh,
like just
nice.
4 diamonds that are revivifiable, and you don't have to pay a cent.
Wow. Okay, great. I'm gonna put 4 in my platinum because who fucking uses that shit?
You just start like taking stuff out of your tiara, just go clink, clink, and go. They just all hear these.
Yeah.
And
That's funny.
and around this, like as this kind of day happens, Tamaral kind of walks along with you, and kind of like smiles every time it happens and marvels and kind of gives winks to the shopkeepers as they look at her. And you find yourself like at a certain point kind of going back to her shop just to kind of clean up. Just, can I ask you something, dearie?
Yeah, of course. Anything.
Have you talked to your god much?
Well, I don't know why the only analogy I could think is, have you ever made a cell phone call in a tunnel?
It's not bad.
Have you ever like tried to talk to someone but you're in a restaurant and they're playing like really loud music and there's a ton of people also talking and you can't really hear them that well?
Oh.
It's kind of like that. Like it's not like a crystal clear connection. It's a bit wonky. So I think I've only really talked to him like once since I've been here. Maybe twice. I can't remember where I was when he told me I need to like be an ambassador of death or whatever that conversation was.
He told you.
Ignore that.
I will if you want me to, but that seems like a big deal.
Yeah, I kind of think of it as a promotion of sorts.
There's
just kind of fun.
That's forgive me, dearie. It's just, you remarkably made the words ambassador of death sound like the cheeriest dang thing, and I just
well, because death gets a really bad rap a lot of the time. People are scared of it. It's the unknown. It's stinky. But like, it's really nothing to be afraid of. For one, it happens to pretty much everyone. And there is a kind of beauty in it. And I take great pride in my job of being able to make sure people actually find rest. Because otherwise, I mean, the thought of just roaming around the afterlife, not being at peace, that is scarier than death to me.
Aye. That's, dearie, that is beautiful in many ways. I think that kind of limbo between life and death is that stagnation is kind of what I'm feeling in this place here. That's every so often I don't hear my god doesn't speak to me too much all the time. Only when I'm staring into the flames or when I get lulled into a kind of hypnotic state by the sound of the hammer on an anvil. It's not so much.
Can I do a religion check to see what her god is?
Yeah, of course.
8.
8. I mean, it could be multiple things. You like
Yeah.
in this world, there's a few different ones. I will say with the religion check, you can see that she doesn't seem like someone who would be like. You do know. I will say this: it's a symbol that she has around her neck. It looks familiar to you, And by that, it means that, like, she definitely worships a god from your realm.
Okay.
But you don't know exactly what it is with an 8.
Gotcha.
I don't really have much conversations with them so much as I see visions and I see things, and I saw you. I guess I wanted to talk to you for a moment because, you know, I saw you with that crown on your head. And, well, I saw the crown first and it scared me. Forgive the parlance, scared me half to death. It was very spooky. But then I in the flames I saw you wearing it, and it didn't spook me. It was like a comfort. It was I just wanted to tell you. I think that there is a message that I was supposed to tell you from at least my person, which is that I think you're good at laying people to rest. When I looked at you wearing that crown, and when I look at you now, you remind me of a lullaby.
Oh, that's nice.
That's just you know, I thought one god girly to another. Just thought it, you know, I thought of a nice thing, and so I'd say it to you.
I really appreciate that. I'm gonna write that down because that feels important.
And oh, did you question? Is your father, is he still alive?
Unless something horribly wrong has happened, but no, when I left, he was still alive. Yeah.
I don't know much about what's going on over there. I wish I did, but in the visions that I've seen through the flames, it's a bit confusing, but I can only offer this. After I got used to your face with the crown, I have seen a face much like yours, but a male, and he was smiling. So I know I'm an oracle and a seer. I can't really do much other than interpret what I see in the flames, but for my money, I think it seems like your dad is doing good in whatever's happening over there, and is proud. Don't know what that means. Time is weird, but
What is weird?
But he didn't seem to sway your fears. He didn't seem gone. Didn't seem like there was a vision of him in the flames in a different realm. It just seemed like I was, because, well, to be fair, I saw you in the flames and you're right here.
Oh, scary.
Like I said, I thought you would be. I saw you in a vision in the flames wearing that crown, and the fact that you didn't scare me, I was like, oh, this person. What a weird thing. What a truly weird and beautiful thing.
I'll say. Dang. Well, thanks for the news about me dad. That's nice to hear. I think it's really easy to get caught up in everything that's happening here that I haven't really thought about home in a while. I do miss them. But I'll have some crazy stories to tell him when I get back. That's for sure.
Tamriel kind of grabs your hands a little bit. I think that this place sometimes, at least whatever it became, this dark broken version of this place sometimes wants you to forget, wants you to think this is all it ever has been and ever will be. I didn't always look into the flames and see things. For a long time, I was here, and for about a year, maybe more, 5, I forgot I ever lived anywhere else. And then I struck. I was shaping metal. Actually, specifically, I was blowing some glass. And in a curve of one of the pieces, I saw the face of my mom. And it all came rushing back to me. I have a feeling that's like for a lot of the people here.
Yeah.
And she just like looks at you. You and I were chosen by the people up there for whatever reason. I think with what I do and with what you do, laying people to rest, making, creating, ending, we just got to make sure that the in-between, that these people remember to live and remember that they're alive. Because a lot of these people in this city and down below and all these things, they kind of feel like they're half dead. We'll fix them.
Yeah. I think they've maybe woken up a little bit since we've been here, which is good. Feels good.
Yeah. We'll wake them up. And, also, what are you going to do about that cute turtle?
He's really hot, right?
We will transition away from this one.
Wait, hold on really, really quick.
Yes.
Can I do an insight check about the lullaby?
Uh-huh. Yeah, do an insight check.
Insight check about the lullaby. Woo! 21. Again? 21.
So 21, you don't like, you listen to her voice, you don't think that she's like means a specific lullaby of any kind, and you don't think she means like it's like trying to hint at you at anything. But you do like kind of mull over the term lullaby and just like, you know, something that puts people to sleep, and knowing that you have to, you know, the goal is to wake someone up, you know. But there is something when you think about a lullaby and a lull to sleep, and the idea, as she kind of is speaking, like the half sleep, half awake, I'm gonna say with a 21, you just kind of start thinking about, there's this, like, the creator of this world. Everyone keeps saying that, like, the way that it all comes back to normal, goes back, is if you, like, wake the queen. If the queen is woken up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a part of you that starts to wonder, what if that's not the only way? What if she's, like, the idea is, like, if she's half in and half out, what if she went the other way? What if she went to rest and actually rested? And you just start to think about that.
Well, fuck, Dylan.
You just start to think about that and what lullabies mean. That is your first.
Know how old she is? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, how old?
Yeah,
she is. Zabilna. Make a history check.
Oh, okay.
Just in this one, make a history check.
History check. A bitch in his. Oh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very high rolls. So all you know is this. You know that you have heard the name Tasha in your world. And you know that Tasha and Zybilna are one. Like, Zybilna is another name, or maybe her true name for Tasha. Tasha, in your world, it wouldn't even be a hard history check. You have heard almost horrible things about this kind of witch queen, Tasha, who has made some, like, horrible, like, has originated some horrible spells, some of the, like, the nastier things in the world. And you had heard, like, legends, lore about her being, like, the adoptive daughter of an old hag, and having been, like, almost like a night, like a bed, like a monster story, like a nighttime, like a campfire story.
Right.
And now you're thinking about, like, okay, well, I've met her adoptive mother, Mama Yaga. Mama Yaga explained that she had things that she wanted to atone for. Thinking about it all, and the fact that she was maybe this witch and now this giant fae who created this entire plane, probably very old. Like, probably, even if she appears young, you know how the fae work, she's most likely, like, whatever the oldest fae in the city is,
so
probably
much
10 times older than that.
Yeah. Do fae
Because
want to be put to rest?
That's something that you can't possibly know.
Okay. Oh, and
yeah.
I just want, because it wasn't in the summary, but I wanted to remind everyone that the White Rabbit swore fealty to me in a fae deal, and that feels like it's important.
Yes, that is true. John Darling did tell you how to kind of trick them into fae deals the easy way without as much effort.
I'm sure it'll come in handy at some point. Don't know how yet. Anyway,
yeah, we'll see how much handy that comes in. Who wants to go next for their first priority of the week?
I could go.
Okay.
So last session you mentioned that just by, like, putting this article out, like, the journalist or whoever delivered the story is putting their life at risk.
Yes.
Why are you smirking?
I just didn't expect you to say any of those words. Continue. Just continue. Just keep going.
Okay. I want to follow the journalist and see if anyone's stalking him and threatening their life, and see if I can trace that back to the queen that's real mad, the Queen of Glass.
The Queen of Glass. Okay. So you're okay. Yes. Okay. So give me. So this would of course be a stealth check.
Yep. Just a straight stealth.
Yeah, just a stealth check. But I'd say won't be with disadvantage. In some ways, fame actually has made things a little bit harder for you to get around.
Oh, I'm not in the article.
Oh, right, you're not in the article. Do it with advantage.
Thank you.
Right, you specifically said to not be in the article. People don't know who the fuck you are.
That is going to be a 28.
28, okay. Oh my god. Oh god. I just realized I named this character and I don't remember where it is.
The journalist?
Yeah, I named this
Yeah, it
journalist.
was like I remember it was like a weird.
I don't remember. It was a goblin, but I don't remember where it is. Anyway, so you follow him. You hear, like, basically you hear about how the publication of the story is going. It goes pretty quickly. Like you figure it out, and you learn that like this could happen. And so you keep your distance. You are impressed with this goblin's, like, chutzpah to, like, do what he did. And you keep your distance. You see that they kind of hold up for a while. They know that they're kind of in trouble. You can see that they are starting to, like, make calls to try to, like, write messages to people, trying to see if there's any, like, protection that could be given. John Darling even suggests, like, Well, you know, we could put him in protective custody. We could put him into David's, and you explicitly are like, no. Use him as bait. And then John's like, wow, ruthless. All right, go ahead. Just don't let him die. So all of the avenues, almost strategically, all of the avenues of safety that would be open to him kind of seemingly get cut off. One by one, it seems like he's kind of out of time, out of places to go. You follow him in the night, and you track down, like, people following him. Easily, with these stealth checks, you easily, like, dispatch of anyone who was ever following him and take them back and question them. The first person you see, there is just a, there's like just a dragonborn, that is kind of in plain clothes, that has been following him for like a day and a half that you follow. You finally get this dragonborn cornered, and in an alleyway. What do you do? Now that you have this dragonborn like fully like with, again, you've basically succeeded this check very highly. You have this dragonborn like fully in an alleyway, like ready to be questioned.
Mm-hmm. Did the Queen of Glass hire you?
What are you talking about?
Insight.
Roll an insight check.
25.
25. Pissed off at you, doesn't want to answer you any of your questions. However, genuinely doesn't understand why you just mentioned the Queen of Glass. And for you, you remember that, like, the Queen of Glass probably wouldn't have hired someone outwardly to do dirty work. Like, she's seen as the hero.
Okay. Who hired you?
You're never going to get me to talk. I am Dagon Silvertongue. I do not talk to people like you.
What do you mean, people like me, asshole?
Instantly breaks. Instantly is just like, all right, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Like, just, you are so horrifying. Like, you lean into, like, the light of a lamppost, and it's like, now he realizes you're a doll, and he's like, all right, I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Razakar. He hired me.
Did he pay you?
Yes.
I hold out my hand and I'm like, gimme.
Like, I don't travel with money on me.
Insight.
Roll an insight check.
Dirty 20.
20. He's like, all right, here's okay. Here's 10 gold, but I genuinely, I was paid in favors and exposure.
Exposure? Why do you need exposure?
I just like kind of clams up. I'm trying to be a musician. Razakar said that I could play at the parade.
What's your instrument?
Flute.
Are you actually good?
Yes.
Insight.
Roll an insight check.
16.
He thinks he's good. You're...
What did Razakar send you to kill him or just stalk him?
It was the full deal. I was supposed to kill him. Very dead.
Well, see, that's a bit of an issue for me, so I don't know if I can let you go now.
No, you can. You can let me go. I'm not going to do it.
I pull out
anymore.
the rose to see if the
Like, so as he says, "No, you can let me go. I'm not going to do it." The petal falls.
Mm.
Why'd you pull out the
Oh.
flower?
I pulled out a
Why?
flower. You know,
You're so horrifying.
I know. Man, I just kind of want to kill him.
Okay, do you kill him in the alley?
Yeah.
With a slash of a blade to the throat, you end Dagon Silvertongue's career, and no more shall the greatest flautist in all of Fable Rise play. But with a 20, what was it, 28, right, stealth check?
Yeah.
Do you want to leave a message?
I'm gonna
In
search his
some
pockets
way?
first. I want to
Okay.
see. Yeah.
I mean, I'll say with the 28, you search the pockets. You don't really. This guy did travel light. He was a professional. Like, he didn't like travel with anything like trying to incriminate his boss, even though he did break really easily, just because you were so terrifying. But you do. You do see that there is like a matchbook for a bar that like he probably played at. That like it like has like a full matchbook. And it just says like the bitter end.
That's the name of the bar.
That's the name of the
Great
bar.
name.
Okay. I leave the call sign of the Lollipop Guild.
You leave the call sign of the Lollipop Guild? Okay. Okay. You leave the call sign of the Lollipop Guild. In your, like, as you're doing this, as you're like leaving the call sign, just a smile appears right in front of you, just out in the alleyway.
Absolutely ruthless. Did you have fun?
I ignore him.
It's a shame. I would have loved to have heard him play.
Is this how we're going to play this all week? I could take away your entire life. I could just stop giving you power and you would be dead, I think, is actually
I
how it
get
would
straight
go.
up in his face and I say, "Do it,
I won't.
coward." I leave the alley. Go back to stalking the goblin.
You stalk the goblin, and for the most part, you kind of don't see other assassins come up to them as you go onward. With a 28 and like you had a 5, you were able to pretty easily keep, like, as you're kind of like checking, you pretty easily keep people off the trail. Every so often you see another like assassin, like maybe come up, but for the most part, you start to hear rumblings that like members of the Lollipop Guild like are starting to get cracked down on. It seems like the Sky Guard are starting to like really crack down on the Lollipop Guild now. And it seems like you have gotten your answer, and like by end of day you're like pretty good to protect the goblin. Like you kind of find a way to get him to David's, or at least you think like maybe getting him to David's or something like that would be safest for him. And at this point, you know that of the people who are like in the city, and you kind of knew this in some way because you heard it from Griselda, but you know that like, okay, it seems that Razakar really didn't want this story getting out. And you know he's not the 2. but for some reason, like, he really wanted everything to stay the same. Like, he wanted the status quo to remain the same. So of the founders, it was very clearly Razakar. The political...
Razakar. Sorry, you said Razakar was the one who Natasha needed to deal with, right?
Yeah, Razakar is the one that met with Natasha in the penthouse and basically said, like, convince your party to do nothing, like, to just, like, stay out of it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
He wanted No, you didn't hear that, but you were told, like, Griselda would have, like, told you in those, like, moments in between. But he clearly has, like, and you can further look into that if you want that to be a priority moving forward, but the priority of tracking who sent the assassins to kill him has been accomplished. You have diverted attention once again to the Lollipop Guild, as you all have done throughout this entire campaign. Very effectively. Yeah. We will now move on to John. John, what is your priority?
Okay, so I have a couple of different priorities, but I think personally for Tone right now, I think his priority is to find Tomas and bond with Tomas and like find out what's going on with him here and like have a fucking day. And I think I'm gonna find Tomas and I want to like I want to get tattoos with Tomas.
Okay.
That's what I want. Oh, but I also want to do this if possible. I want to do this every week, every day of this week.
Okay.
I want to spend a spell slot at the beginning of each day and cast Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum on David's.
Okay.
So when you cast the spell, you make an area within range magically secure. The area is a cube that can be as small as 5 feet or as large as 100 feet on each side. I just want to make it as large as David is. I assume that is within 100 feet, but I know it's a planar realm. Yep. When you cast a spell, you decide what sort of security the spell provides. Choose any or all of the following properties. I'd like to choose the following properties. Sound can't pass through the barrier at the edge. Censor creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells. And nothing can teleport into or out of the warded area. And planar travel is blocked within the warded area.
Okay.
And that's it.
Noted and awesome.
My first plan is to find Tomas and ask him to stay with me and Dave. I want to find Tomas. I could. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the priority you will find Tomas will be found. But the priority is to like find out what's going on with Tomas and just like bond with him and make sure the relationship's good.
Yeah, I want to make sure he's not in any like slumps.
Okay. I guess, and you can do this with advantage as well. I guess this would be a persuasion check. I think that would be persuasion for you. Yeah.
Okay. Persuasion, not great. Might have to use my inspiration. All right, here we go.
It's DC 5.
Oh.
The first priority is very low. DC.
Okay, good. Okay, 19.
19. Okay. So so Tomas, was taking the days off a little bit because of just everything that happened with your father, with Taizo, and just you haven't heard word from your father at all. Good. When you meet with Tomas at David's, you see him kind of like looking a lot lighter, a lot happier, kind of after a day of just kind of taking it. But you can still sense in him a little bit of a sadness, just kind of a general sadness. You walk into David's and you see that he's deep in a conversation with Sir Talavar, and you just see him like in the middle of a conversation. It's like, no, right, of course. I was just thinking that so I think what they mean precisely about when they say for you to be nicer to them is that what you say hurts. It's like, but what I say is funny, and and people like funny people. Like, right, no, people love funny people, but had you ever considered that maybe people didn't find it funny, though? It's like, I don't consider impossibilities quite often. He's like, right, all right, yes, hi, it's good to see you. Sorry, I might have to go, because, obviously, my brother is here. He's like, all right, very good. Just so you both know, this one's so much more attractive than that one. You are much hotter than him. You are uglier than him.
I know that. Hey, thank you for your great observation. You're such a good... Something has changed in you ever since you talked to Golzog the other night. You seem to be completely different, and that's... Yeah, I like you so much more.
And you have always been the most eloquent speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. So odd. You are all so odd. As he just kind of like flies back. Everyone in David's, as he flies back, you can see audibly either like audibly sighs, or you can see them roll their eyes and like make room for this tiny dragon to just fly by them. All right.
He's going to be president one day. Watch that one.
What? Of this city? Please,
I don't
no.
know.
I would not like that.
What? Clear your schedule today. Clear your schedule. We're going out.
But all right. Where are we going?
Tattoos. We're getting tattoos.
What? What do you mean?
We're brothers, and we are brothers, and now we're gonna cement it on our skin. Let's go. Let's go to a tattoo parlor and let's make it official.
Aren't our skin? Isn't our very skin the cement of the fact that we're brothers? Isn't the skin of our skin being the same skin of the skin of our father?
Share pain and
okay.
At the same time, let's go. Let's do it. Let's get tattoos.
All right. Are you okay?
No, but that's okay. I've decided I'm not okay, and that's just fine. You know, like, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I'm not.
Okay, then let's go do something that's not okay, that our parents never wanted us to do. Let's do something for us.
All right.
Because as far as I'm concerned, you are the best and only family I have. And I want to make a real memory with you.
All right. Let's go. And like as you're kind of like walking out, Tomas comes with you, like going out in the town, getting ready. Do you not consider your friend's family?
No, of course I consider them.
No, okay, no,
right?
I understand what you mean. Then I was wondering, I was just wondering actually. Because they're very, you know, they're a lovely group. Very odd group.
I odd by what standard, though? Like in
that
this
is fair.
place, are they odd? You know, I just got insulted by a tiny flying dragon a minute ago. I don't
Right.
know if it's that odd.
Well, I would say that even by this place's standards, he's not liked. I like most people, and he can't get it together, like in any way.
Are you happy?
Oh, big question. Well,
With what you're doing every day?
oh, you mean like washing dishes and serving tables? You know, I think I was happy. I think I thought I was happy. And then I, and like this is happening as you're walking along, Vaporized, like both not fully understanding where you're going to get tattoos. Like I think neither of you even really understand.
Oh yeah, we should probably find somebody to get.
Yeah, well, I think when I found out that I had a brother, sorry, it feels weird to say this in front of you, but when I found out I had a brother, I realized that I wasn't happy at all. And I realized that I was actually very lonely. And then I went to, then I found out that I could maybe find a way to communicate with you. And it worked. And that's when my magic started growing and gotten wonky, and I don't know, I wanna... I'm happy now, I think. I'm very sad and very angry.
Me too.
Rightfully so, I think, but I'm also very very grateful, very surprised, and I don't know. My magic is very new to me.
How do you feel when you use your magic? How does that make you feel? Or are you feeling all sorts of things?
Oh, mine is untethered. I feel it's like every single doubt and confusion I've ever had comes to the forefront and rebels against everything. It's not quite like yours, which seems very more like contained and within the world, and it's definitely not like whatever the heck goes on with the Golzog's arms, and definitely not like Griselda's a thing with nature. It definitely isn't like Marabella and how and the dark princess she is.
How do you feel about Marabella?
What? She's very intimidating person.
Is that the only adjective that you have?
I have never really been able to talk about this, like, man to man with a brother before.
Who else to talk about this?
But I feel
with,
like, but have you ever? It's like I don't want to say the wrong thing because she's a friend, but I also don't want to say the wrong thing because it's like embarrassing, because I could never say this to Dad. He wouldn't understand, he'd understand, but it didn't feel right.
Listen, whatever you say can stay between us. I think she might fancy you, and I think it.
All right.
Whatever you feel about her, that's great too.
All right, you have to understand, I've never said this before. I've heard it said and didn't fully understand what it meant until I met her. And now I viscerally understand what it means. Do not judge me brother.
Okay.
I believe the phrase is I would like her to step on me.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
what it is? Is that right? Am I wrong? Is that not what it should be?
I have
Am
heard.
I
I have heard
incorrect?
of that.
I don't know
phrase.
why.
You know, if it feels good, don't judge it. Our parents have left us with so much fucking shit that we have to live through. If you like it, great. You know what? Before we get that tattoo, where's Humphrey? Where's that little robot? There's got to be a Humphrey station around here, right?
You mean Manfred?
Manfred. There's got to be a Manfred station around here.
There's one on like more there's one on like every corner.
Great. Let's go find a Manfred, and I got a question for him. Let's go.
It's not about what you're not going to ask him a question about what I said because I'm feeling weird about what I said.
I'm not asking him a question. I said it between us.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Ding 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 ding.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wonderful. Oh, it's you.
Hey.
Hello. Yes, hello. Very good to see you. How are you? It's nice to. What can I, Manfred, do for you? Yes, of course.
Glad to see you remember both of us, and the memories are good memories. We need to find a bar, the nearest bar to us, right now. We need to find a bar, whatever bar, it doesn't matter, whatever, just geolocate the nearest bar right now. We need a drink now.
Are you sure you want that?
Whatever the nearest bar is, I don't care. We need it now. Whatever it's, if I can see it and I haven't seen it, I'm sorry. The city is like, it's huge. It keeps getting bigger, seemingly. So whatever the nearest bar is, we need a drink, and then we're going to harm ourselves by putting images on our skin. We're going to paint our skin. We're going to do it today. This is a day to remember. This is the day Anyway, whatever. I'm saying too much. Where's the bar? I feel like I've said enough. So where's the bar?
All right.
Manfred.
It's called Wet Paint.
Wet paint. Great. That sounds like our place. Let's go. Oh, wait, before I go.
Yes?
Is there a place where I can get a tattoo? In Fable Rise?
Of course! There's many tattoo parlors and shops of the finest artists in all of the world. Many different kinds of different tattoos infused with arcane properties. Of course, there is just the mundane. Of course, that's very expensive, and those artists are of the finest artisans of all possible nature.
Great, I don't care. Which one was that one? Let's find. Give me a place for arcane tattoos. For a couple of arcane turtles.
Oh, yes, arcane tattoos. Yes, of course. There is, of course, in the upper spire. Yes, of course, there's even in the upper spire. There's the Scratch Shack. The Scratch Shack.
Great. All right, we gotta go get a drink now. All right. See you later, Humphrey. And then I take Tomas. I know I called him the wrong name. And we go to Wet Paint. Right away. I'm gonna
you like
blaze
turn
through.
Like when you say close.
You turn around. It's
like
there.
you turn around and it's there, and it's like and it's the best I can describe it is it feels like a Toontown level like kitsch bar where like it's but it feels real where like the sign itself is like perpetually dripping, like magically it's perpetually dripping, and it seems like it's always freshly painted of like wet paint, and there's a bucket underneath that's just like always flowing into this bucket of paint but never getting full. The rest of it looks like a piece of shit. Like it's just truly just a horrible tavern. You hear like some pretty off-tune music going on inside as you like walk on in, and you see just a a Goliath standing behind the bar. As you walk in, there's like an old gnome just drunk off of his ass at the bar. You see there's a Githyanki, just kind of a very slutty man, like a male Githyanki with just like the deepest V, just like waiting, like just alone in this tavern with like no one around, but just like kind of looking, like just clearly prowling. And it's like the middle of the morning. It's like someone who eats like at the buffet at a strip club. You're just like, oh, not that guy. But you walk on in. It's like, oh yes, what can I do for you? Welcome to What Pint?
2 shots of your strongest, not your strongest, your second strongest. Just 2 beers.
Right.
All right. 2 beers and 2 shots of dealer's choice, but not your strongest stuff.
Right. All right. Make a persuasion check for me, but with advantage because he's starting to. It seems like he's starting to recognize you.
Okay. Uh, 16.
Okay. Oh yes. Of course. Anything for the hero of Thriller, I guess. 2 ales and 2 shots of not our strongest, but stuff that won't make you puke. Understood. All right. Goes off. Get you your drinks.
Woo! How you doing, Thomas? How you feeling? I feel like this is our first time just hanging out.
I feel happy. I feel.
Also, they didn't card us. Isn't that kind of a compliment sometimes?
What?
Nothing. Never mind. You were saying how do you feel?
I feel. I don't know. I feel angry. I feel lied to. I feel worried. I feel scared.
Do you technically work for our father?
No, I work.
You work for that's right. You work for the
no, because our father wouldn't let me work at the restaurant with him. He didn't say I was cut out to work at the restaurant with him, so I work somewhere else, and I'm not even a cook. And to be fair, and not to be fair to him, but just to be fair to the truth of it, I'm not really a cook, and that's not me putting myself down. I don't think I was born to do that. Not like you, clearly. I don't know what I was born to do, but the thing is, it's just I didn't know what else I could do, because when you're the father of Jameson, or Tyza, or whatever the fuck his name is, you just kind of have to, it feels like. And I'm scared and I'm nervous, and to be quite honest, I'm nervous about everything going on in the world. I'm nervous about you, and I'm also and I'm still embarrassed about the thing I said about Marabella earlier. Because I feel like that was like a fable-rise phrase, and you don't fully get it. You know, like I feel like that's the thing that the youth of fable-rise understand.
I get it.
I hear it around town, but I don't know if you get it. You know?
No, I get it. It means like, you know, you kind of want to be like, you know, like dominated.
We don't have to talk about this.
All right, fine. No, that's fine. Well, listen. Well, the thing is,
both drinks just like get put down on the table. The guy goes,
wow, that was incredibly timely. Great.
No charge.
No, I refuse. I have to pay. I believe I refuse no charge. I believe in paying people what they're paying people for their services. I'm a member of the service industry myself, so please let me. I just throw a couple of gold pieces on the counter.
Like, all right. Thank you very much.
Great. All right. Where I come from, this is called me and the kitchen staff. And by the way, I only used to like wash dishes. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you and I worked together and had our own place, you could cook or do whatever it was that you wanted. I think it would be a great place for you to flourish. But that's maybe a conversation for another time. But this is what I like to call a dragon fire bomb. And you take this thing, this shot, and you drop it into here, and then you go oi oi oi, and then you drink it as fast as you can. Okay?
All right.
Are you ready?
Right. Okay.
All right. Pick it up.
All right.
To rebelling and doing what feels good. Okay?
To what feels good.
To what feels good.
To what feels good.
Drop. Oi, oi, oi.
Make a Constitution save.
$16.
Botch.
Of course. I'm gonna drag him up to the upper.
I was genuinely praying for a botch, and there it is.
Oh my
I'm
God.
so happy. Okay, as we go into a drunken montage, as you get going up to the scratch shack, we'll go on break.
I'll cast Arcane Hand, and I'll just like carry him like this. Giant hand carries him.
As you just like fully weaken at Bernie's your brother up to the scratch shack to get a tattoo, of which you will, I guess, decide fully for him. We'll go on break. You'll decide, and then because those were the priorities, the next priorities will go much faster. We're kind of just gonna go through them a little bit quicker. No. I wanted to do full scenes for the priorities, but the other ones we're gonna just kind of like get through. Okay. Thank you so much, gang. Great. Get a drink, get some food. We'll be back in a little bit. See you then.
Whistle Pig Kid, time it out.
Time it out. Perfect. Now the mics are on. Hey everyone, we are back. So you go, just to quickly go through it, you go to the Scratch Shack.
Yes.
What do you get tattooed?
If it can be arcane, cool, but I want to get like 2 matching tattoos of a tomato on both of our arms.
Okay, you both get a tomato on your arms. You will both get just because it's like a small common one, it won't be attunement. But if you look up the Illuminator's tattoo, basically
Cool.
what the Illuminator's tattoo allows you to do is you can like write with your fingertip as if it was a pen, and also
Fun.
as an action you can touch a piece of writing and speak a creature's name. With this one, we're going to do that you can only speak each other's name, and the writing becomes invisible to everyone but the person, so you can
awesome.
pass
That's
secret
great.
messages to each other. That's more just a lore thing. I will say another thing that happens is while you're there, Glory Huff is getting a touch-up on one of his tattoos.
On one of his tattoos.
Yeah.
And for that moment, it's the hottest place in Fable Rise.
In Vale Rise, with just the drunk off of his... The only reason, by the way, that you're even allowed to have Tomas get a tattoo this drunk is because you're like a hero, and they're like, we shouldn't do it when he's this drunk, and you're like, I'm the hero.
I'm a hero.
I'm a hero. You're because like you're drunk but like awake, and they're like, sure. And
Also,
Glory...
I see Glory Hoof, and in my head, I think back to what Tomas said about stepping on necks, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
and you just see Glory Hoof. Glory Hoof notes you, sees you, and goes, "We won't talk while I'm here. Not here. I'll talk to you later. We have much to discuss, but not here. This is my..." And you just go like, "This is my place. This is my sanctum."
This is a safe place.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We'll take it back.
So that does happen. Okay.
Killer.
So circling back to you, Griselda. This is your second priority. The DC will be
Griselda.
10. Sorry, Marabella. God, I haven't done that. I haven't done that.
If she were here, she'd
6
be
months.
next, though.
Marabella, it is your turn. Or anyone who
Don't
wants to
put
go,
Tomas away. Mama's going on a date.
Okay.
/ gonna attempt to. As I eat my toast.
This is your second one. You will have advantage on it. What is your second priority?
I want to try to go on a date with Tomas.
Okay.
Or just like, not even date, because I left him that note letting him know that where we would be. Right, that was kind of my last interaction with him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is post tattoo. It's probably post tattoo. And yeah, I want to go suss out the vibe.
I'll say, make an insight or persuasion.
Oh, it's gonna be insight.
I figured.
With advantage, right?
With advantage.
23.
23. Okay, you're 13 above.
Can I retroactively guidance myself?
No, not for these.
That's fair.
So you, throughout the course of the week, I'll say that like this is probably happening closer to the end of the week. But you will like near the beginning of the week, Tone and Tomas went and got tattoos out of nowhere. And every so often, Tomas doesn't seem mad about it, but he does mention how he was a little too drunk, and doesn't and like every time you ask like, did it hurt? He goes like, I don't really remember. I think maybe it hurts now. And like every so often he'll like touch it and go like, right. But throughout the week, you've noticed very easily, like as you guys have gone around, obviously you've been getting a lot more attention, just because of being heroes. But throughout the week, Tomas has been looking at you differently. and every so often you'll see Tomas whispering with his brother. You'll see him passing a page, like a piece of paper, to his brother. And when you go to look over at the page, like the piece of paper, it's blank, and you have like no idea what's been written on it. Like it's like they're literally passing notes back and forth, but like you can't see
Nerds.
what's on it.
I love it.
You've even seen him like, but like every so often you just have been catching him, like whispering. You very much catch him doing like the he's looking at you, and then the second you look over, he's looking somewhere else thing. Yeah, and you know it's happening. You clock very much that like, okay, he's actually you're like, okay, he's interested in me. You also clock that he wants to be the one to ask you out, but he doesn't know how to do it, and you're like trying to manufacture a way for him to do it well.
Okay.
Can I help her? Like, give her the help action?
Yes, of course. For this, you can for sure. For this because like I said, this is probably at the near the end of the week, where like this has been happening all week, leading up to like the week of festivities, like right before it starts happening, really kicking off.
Maybe the night before this day, I'll just be very loudly talking with David.
Okay.
About kind of how I've done, like I have nothing planned for the next day. Like, I've been feeling kind of bored. I haven't really done too much at a city. I've like run my own errands and stuff, of course, and I went shopping and I got this fabulous new bomber jacket. And can I have just another time gotten a new bomber jacket that's sparkly with sequins on it?
Yeah, this is near the end of the week, so again, time moves weird in the Feywild. There started to be like bomber jackets in the stores based off of like you all. Like,
yes,
like there was like a store that came
Incredible.
up and you got like the U bomber jacket.
Nice. It's covered in blood and dirt.
It does have like, it's definitely like has like a dark vibe, but like
oh my gosh, like, red sequins.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly.
Stop.
And like
they're
also like magic sequins, you know, the ones that like, you know, like they, which you wipe your hand on them, they like go
like it's Nicolas Cage's face on one, yes. And then you put it down and it's got it. Okay.
But you didn't design this, but it just like, if you do it, it just is like dead, and like you like wipe it down.
Dead.
Just dead.
That's so funny.
And you
oh my gosh, rebranding death.
You have it.
I have it. It is mine.
You see, like, while this is happening, David is like, all right, you don't need to shout. I get it. Why are you yelling? Like,
I just feel like I haven't really done anything to, like, experience the culture of Fable Rise. Or...
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it is a culturally melting pot.
Like, it seems like it's a really big place with lots to do.
Well, there is, but I thought we had a lot of other things on our mind.
I have nothing to do tomorrow.
It's right around that time that
wait a minute.
Tomas, yeah, what's up?
I write on our little piece of paper that I like there's a notepad on the table, and I'm like, this is your chance, Tomas. She's asking you this. She wants you to ask her out. Ask her out. That's what I'm writing.
Okay. He reads that. You see him almost retreat into his shell. Like fully, like just like like you knock some sense into him. Marabella, I've lived here in the town for a while. Would you like me to show you where I've been?
For flavor, can I do a performance check to hide my surprise?
Oh, I mean, with the insight check, because you already got it.
Oh.
Like with the, like,
okay.
With certain things will be auto successes. Yeah, you fully Like, how do you say it though? I want to know how you respond to him.
I'll just turn around and be, oh, that's right. You have lived here for a very long time. That sounds really lovely.
That was not the music I wanted.
It's the dark death encounter music.
He goes, great. Let's go. Follow me.
Oh, well, it's night. Okay, we can go now.
Oh, did you mean night? I thought you meant...
What time is best for what you have in mind?
And you can see him like kind of struggle to say this, but he's like, well, I thought maybe we could spend the whole day together.
I like that idea.
Okay.
It gives me something to look forward to. And she'll give him a like actual proper wink.
All right. Okay. And he takes you out. We'll go through some of it, but he basically goes through the day taking you to like no real restaurants. He kind of goes, it's very much like, because
was it a fucking food market vibe?
Yeah, Fable Rise is very much like a very Parisian inspired, obviously, as with the Art Deco. And he takes you like over like the air canals where like you see like the air gondolas going through like underneath, and he takes you to like essentially he takes you all around to like food trucks, basically like food carts.
Oh my gosh,
to
cute.
No actual restaurant. He takes you to like where like a kid who grew up on the streets of Fable Rise would actually go.
Fuck yeah, that's my shit.
Kind of an Aladdin showing you the city kind of thing. And as it gets to night, he takes you down past like down towards the lower spiral, past down through it, into like kind of a cave. Like there's, because it's still kind of like a mountaintop that has like a city built into it, past like a cave system. And he was like, I wanted to take you somewhere. Not many people go here. It's I just think you'd really enjoy seeing it. We gotta be
It's
respectful.
caves, right? It's a system of caves.
At least that's what you're going through first. Yeah, he's like, just be respectful
nice.
when we get there.
Okay.
And you walk on out into like a grotto, and this is like when it's getting into night, and you see this like open field of what kind of remind you of like the will-o-wisps you saw a long time ago, like those spirits, but there's something different about them. They're kind of like more singing and playful. As they're kind of darting and dancing around, you see them shifting form, almost like, the best way I can describe it, because like I've said before, I only have references, are just the like ever shifting Patronuses playing with each other, with just like little like animals like made of pure light, kind of like flashing in and out, as they just kind of dance around this one lone tree that's sitting in the middle of this little grotto. There's like a little lake, this one lone tree, and all of these little spirits. And you just see him go, like, whisper very quietly, "This is the familiar patch. This is where familiars are born. Every so often, apparently this tree here is the mother of them all. And when a witch or wizard or sorcerer or warlock or anyone from any of the planes beyond summons one, there are many patches throughout the Feywild, but this one's here. And when they're summoned, they're chosen from among them. It's kind of a connection. This little Fey spirit. And this is where they come back to when they're not with their tethered caster. This is where I met well, who he called Tomas. This is where I met him or them.
It's beautiful. Like Mirabella's like stars in her eyes, like this is so cool. Is there a way to go up to the tree, or is that like no, don't do that?
He's like, make an Arcana check or a Nature check, Nature or Arcana.
Oh my gosh, nature all day. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. Never mind. Alrighty. We'll do an Arcana. 7.
7.
Yeah.
You go up and goes, I'd advise against it. When I did what I did to bond myself with one, I asked nicely, and they gave me what I wanted, and they like me here, but I didn't have magic before I did that, and the magic they gave me, it's very chaotic, and I just don't know what would happen. It's why I can do what I do. I won't cast here because I might blow everything up, but it's why I can do what I do.
You didn't have magic before you came here?
No, I came here. I came here and I had read about familiars, and I had read about an ancient wizard who had a sister, and they had apparently shared one, and I wanted to know more about that, and no one really comes here, and so I came here once, and I started asking questions, started trying to speak with them, and I stole a spell scroll from a library. Yeah, I stole
That's kind of cool.
It was very scary, but I just really wanted it was a speak with plants, which not many people really, it seemed kind of innocuous, but I spoke with the tree, and I asked, I told them I wanted to just speak with my brother, and familiars were the only ones. People don't really think about familiars, but barely anyone can leave this place. Almost no one. But familiars can. They always could. Nothing ever stops them from leaving. They just always come back. And so I figured, what if I was able to send familiar and pair with them? And they said that for me to have that, I needed to have magic, but I didn't. So they kinda... And he kind of like waves at the tree, and you feel like a wind rustle. She kind of put raw magic inside of me, and now I can do it. Can't control it really, but that's how it all happened.
You know, they wouldn't do that for just anyone. It would take a special kind of person to just be given magic.
I mean, I think the real thing is that people just don't ask much. I don't know if I'm really special. I just asked for what I wanted.
insight check that?
Mhm.
28.
28.
Tell me.
What are you looking for? What are you like searching for?
Just
the
in
insight?
his like, I don't really think I'm special. Like, I think I just asked for it. Like that.
Yeah, he genuinely doesn't think that he's special. Like he doesn't think for him, he doesn't like think of himself as like a chosen or anything like that. Like he just thinks of himself as like, no, people just don't like, they're not thinking to ask for this kind of stuff. Like I think he just really thinks that like, I think you are pretty certain that they wouldn't give it to anyone. He is like, I think that if people just asked, they probably would, because that's just kind of how he operates. That like, yeah, I'm sure anyone who asked would just get the power. You know, it's not special.
Tomas,
Right?
in this weird town where everyone's always trying to get one up on each other and make a deal and get an upper hand or an advantage, I think others would have maybe asked, but not had intentions that were as pure as yours. You're a good person. That's why I like you.
Oh. Well, you're a good... You're a good person. That's why I like you. Too. I think. Yeah.
I'll take an I think, yeah. Yeah, Marabella will kind of like grab his hand.
Um,
And then I don't know if there's like a bench or if we're hanging out here for a bit, but he wants me to sit on him or whatever where was it earlier?
Oh my god. Jesus
Kidding.
Christ. There's no bench. But there are like rocks you can sit on, like, you know, in this alcove grove.
John's little tomato.
Where'd you get the sunglasses from?
Fucking incredible.
As you kind of just see these like familiars kind of dart around, dance around. And just like as this like kind of fades, you know, he goes, I asked for something I wanted once. I'll ask now. Marabella, will you go with me to the masquerade ball?
Let me check my sketch. Yes, I will. That sounds great.
You didn't check your schedule, though. You said you were going to.
It was a joke.
Oh! And he's just kind of goes like, oh, I'm sorry. I take everything you say at face value because I never want to disrespect you.
Mid-sentence, I want to kiss him.
Ah! You do so. You do so.
Do I roll?
No. I'm gonna roll something else. I'm gonna roll something.
Oh my gosh. It's a botch and he vomits everywhere. That would be so fucking bad. Or like we both all of a sudden get braces and get stuck.
Wild magic and the unicorn comes back suddenly.
No.
Here's another one, and it leaves.
Fucking way, dude. That's the cutest shit ever. I just rolled a 79 on a wild magic surge. Because he wild magic surged. And a 79 is, I'll just tell you. You kiss. You feel raw magic explode out of him. And as you pull away, you see surrounding you are hundreds of illusory butterflies and flower petals falling and dancing all around. The familiars start dancing and playing with them.
Stop.
as literally illusory butterflies and flower petals flutter in the air within 10 feet of you for the next minute.
I'm sorry, is this the most magical minute of my life?
Oh my god, is this the most magical?
Write this down.
I
This is in the
genuinely was
next-
like, I was genuinely was like, look, if it rolls and a fireball explosion happens, that's also amazing. But like,
That's also amazing, no matter
that's
how
also-
you slice it.
Also the funniest shit ever if that happens. But like, that is
Uh-huh.
fucking stupid. That is too goddamn cute. Okay, we fade away from that moment.
Yay!
I'm gonna throw up.
Thanks, Dylan.
Of course.
That was my favorite
ship
D&D
name.
date ever.
Jasmine. Also, Jasmine, I am going to call you out. Jasmine just writes in chat, oh man, this guy gives me anxiety. Which is what I strive to do with this character. He's so hot, but he just can't do it.
But he just can't. Oh my gosh, Dungeons and Dating from Hales.
He is just
Yes.
truly... Look, as I've said before, he is just truly Hugh Grant coded. He is just Hugh Grant coded in Love Actually. Or everything he says is
He
actually...
would not check his employee records for
Yes.
the address of the woman that worked there, which he 100% had, and walked down the whole street checking every house.
Exactly, so hot, but just
Mhm.
truly a nightmare of a person.
Also, Hugh Grant in 4 Weddings and a Funeral. If you haven't seen that,
Ugh, amazing.
great. At his best. Sorry.
Jasmine,
Was
what
it
is-
raining? I didn't know.
Jasmine, what is your second priority?
I am going to see if I can stalk Razakar.
Okay. It's once again a stealth check.
With advantage?
I'm gonna say no advantage on this just because Razakar is Razakar. Razakar is he's one of the founders of the city.
A lot of pressure.
But it's DC 10. So
Oh, okay. It's DC. Okay. I'm at plus 12, so.
well, I mean, yeah, it's but if you
Seven.
get like a 10 or something like that, or like a 12 or something like that, then you do it, but like okay, you know. So you want to get a higher number. You know?
17?
17. Okay.
Should I roll again? Should I inspiration?
It's up to you.
No, I'm gonna save it because I
Okay.
plan on going into his office and
Okay.
moving around in there.
So you definitely are able to stalk him. I will say with a 17, it's 5 above. It's which is like those are the tiers. Like it's 5 above the DC, which means that it's like at least a tier above. So if it was like a grade, it would be like a B, like a B grade basically. He has a lot of security right now. You are able to see you're able to track Razakar back and forth. What you notice a lot is that he's going back and forth with different members and founders of the city. You see him meeting with Humphrey. You see him meeting with Humphrey, with the brothers Dumar. You see him meeting with Stinkbug, or the Two, as you know him. And every night, you notice something very interesting. And this is what you're starting to notice that you really take into account. You have learned that him and Bylantine are together. They're a couple. And every time you see them in like very public appearances, they're always together. Like holding hands.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say
they're
publicly
they are
together.
together like as a couple, and they have been. And the more you learn about like their lore, like of the lore of this place, part of like the charm of this city is like, oh, a high fae and like a devil got together. Like, isn't like a high fae and like this like Cambion, you know, got together, and isn't that wonderful? Like, what a magical thing. You start to notice that they go to different residences every night. Every night they go to different residences. Now, I will say this. You have, for sure, since you've been stalking them, heard them have sex, but they still go to different residences. Like, you've heard them in, like, a broom closet somewhere. But they go to different residences each night. Razakar, it's very difficult, though, with the 17 for you to get, like, really close to him. he has a lot of people. You're able to clock like who his like, I guess you could say like plainclothes officers are, like his secret security. Like you're able to see who his people are, but he doesn't leave a lot of gaps in being able to like get right to him. His favorite, like the place where he currently really goes to all the time is the Skyrise. It's actually a penthouse. You went to a penthouse when you were like, you went to a penthouse when you were with John Darling, but there's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you're in the penthouse, but like the penthouse above the penthouse is still Razakar. He does live there. Like he doesn't live there. He stays there every so often, but he also has a house somewhere else, but he has been staying in the penthouse a lot. You do know that means you have an easier in, but you also know that you don't want to like blow John's spot right away by like getting there.
What? So my stealth cloak, I forgot some of the stuff it gives me.
The new cloak that I gave you. Let me look it up.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, because for some reason it hasn't yet gotten integrated. I sent you a picture of it, but I will.
Yeah, I think it was on the Discord. I mean, not the Discord chat, the Zoom chat. So I think it got.
I thought it
lost.
I'll try to email it. Oh, I think I actually have it in my notes. Give me a second.
Okay.
Items. Yep. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, Rogue's Mantle. It gives you quite a lot. It gives you dark vision. If you already have dark vision, it increases it by 60 feet. While wearing it, while you are in dim light or darkness, you can use a bonus action to teleport along with anything you are wearing or carrying up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see that is also in dim light or darkness. So you can teleport in the shadows. You then have advantage on the first melee attack you make before the end of your turn. So you can like bonus action, boom, boom, and then you get advantage. And then you get Willful Enmity, which is that you can cast the Antagonize spell.
Okay.
From the mantle. Yeah.
Does he have like a regular schedule where he's like definitely not in the penthouse during certain times of the day?
Okay, so with a 17, I'd say that you get like for tracking him, you're able to get the idea that his schedule is pretty sporadic right now, because there's not like, it's not the normal everyday going about your day like running the city. They are preparing for like the biggest week of the year basically, and so he is in and out. People are everywhere. It means that there's a distraction, but it also means that it is hard to pin down when he is going to be anywhere at any time.
Question about the sex he has with Biothane. Are they long sessions?
I'd say that they are. No, they are like quickies.
Ugh. I need him out of the apartment a long time.
I get it. I get what you're doing. But I'll say that like if to try to infiltrate will be a different check than to track.
Okay. Can I roll an insight check to see like if I can tell like he's leaving for a little bit. He's going to a meeting. It's gonna be an hour and a half. Like
okay, I'll give you one insight check and then like that'll be what this priority was. Yeah.
Oh, instead of rolling stealth again later?
No, like you can do that later, but it will be specifically for like breaking into his office. Will be a different thing.
Heart of the cards. 19.
Yeah, you keep hearing like midweek there keeps being like conversations about the masquerade, specifically about getting the masquerade ready, about having the masquerade ready, and about making an appearance, making sure that everything's good, and that there's going to be like a tour of the venue, and that's going to last a couple of hours. So there's going to be like one period of time where for like a couple of hours, he's going to be gone with Ballantine for sure. You know that.
Okay.
Okay.
I wait until that moment.
Okay.
And then, so that's going to be my third thing, I'm guessing?
Yeah,
is
that's going to be
to
a
strike?
third. That's going to be a third
Okay.
thing, just because it's different than just tracking him. Like
Okay.
it's a whole different thing. I'll say we'll go back to that in a second. No, actually, we'll stay with it right now. Give me another. I guess it's stealth check. But it's now DC 15. And you want to get higher.
Ooh, that's 30.
30. Okay. 30. You pretty successfully, it's still like it's 15 above, which is great. You get in there into his office. You are able to slip the guards. Basically, with John's help, with John Darling's help, you're able to kind of make it so the guards kind of get delayed or get deferred or kind of move to a different floor for a moment, and you're able to slip in pretty easily. In Razakar's penthouse apartment, make an investigation check for me with advantage.
Ooh, want to re-roll that with inspiration.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. 21.
21. Okay, so you look through his office. You can tell pretty easily. It's like he's been sleeping here. It's the apartment of essentially a guy who's been kicked out of his house with his wife. But you do see some correspondence between him and the Queen of Glass. You do see that. You find that. You see that there is a clear threat. The Queen of Glass has let slip in this. Doesn't like sign her name the Queen of Glass or anything like that, but you just are able to kind of get who's talking to him. Notes that basically say, Razakar, trust and believe that everything will go your way. You will get everything you want. Just let me do what I need to. You don't see his responses at all, but there's clearly reactionary things from like the notes. Don't you worry your handsome little head about that. Everything will be fine. Just know I have people on the inside. No, I can't tell you who they are. Just know that everything will be fine. Your city flies because of me, and it will remain flying. And as you look, like as you keep looking through the information that you're finding, you see a lot of notes and papers that clearly Razakar thinks of himself as the true leader of Fable Rise. Like he thinks of himself as like the real, the king.
Like as opposed to the Queen of Glass or opposed to the other founders?
As opposed to the other founders, for sure.
Okay.
But he thinks of himself as more powerful than the Queen of Glass. Like he has, like what was told to you by the Queen of Glass and by the White Rabbit of like, do you really think that she would just let this place exist? You know, like, do you really think people could just do that? It still remains to be seen truly if that's true or not for you, but for him, he truly believes that he has defied her and that he is more powerful than the Queen of Glass, that he is more powerful than Alice. And you can see that behind the scenes, it seems like he wants to take her crown. There's a lot of research into what the monarch is like what being a monarch is, and like why it's a prerequisite for being someone, like how to become one. And it's around that time that you start seeing a lot of research into the Lollipop Guild and the Cheshire Cat. And right then is when your friend comes in your mind and just goes, "What's it say about me?"
What does it say about him?
What did you get? A 21, right?
For
the,
investigation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You start to read about like research notes on the cat and the promise of like what being it gives you, and like what winning the game of tag gives you. And there's a couple of things that have been clear. It's the notes say that it's unclear. The cat now kind of just pads around, like its body kind of like tapping on things where its face just smiling at you. And it says very clearly, win the game, become a monarch. Basically inferring that at least one of the things that happens if you tag the cat back is you become a monarch. You gain the power of potentially being able to rule Prismere.
Huh.
And you do know, and you do remember that the last person who tagged the cat was
The Queen of
Alice. Yeah. Did you find anything interesting?
Nothing you don't already know.
I know, but isn't it fun? Isn't it fun for you to learn, finally? Things that you could have learned if you just asked nicely.
I tried to ask nicely,
No,
and
you didn't.
then you got
Don't-
really annoying.
Don't lie to yourself. You never once tried to ask nicely in your entire life.
How did the Queen of Glass tag you?
I reserve that story for my friends.
I thought I was your best friend.
I would like you to believe it. Do you have any friends?
Not really. I guess you're the closest thing to one.
Does that make you sad? Or happy? Somewhere in between?
I guess I don't know any different.
Then this should really frustrate you. Alice tagged me back because she was a friend. And simply put, she just played games with me.
Why do you want a friend if the last friend that you had fucked you over?
Every friend I've ever had has fucked me over.
Then maybe you don't need a friend. Maybe you just need someone you trust. You don't have to like them. I don't think you really like me when you think about it.
Well, it's hard to trust
It's hard. Because the truth of it is, I do like you. And maybe you're the reason I'm doomed to forever find friends who fuck me over. Forget about me. After all, you were the first to do so.
Before the Queen of Glass? Isn't she like 1,000,000 years old?
You wouldn't understand because you don't want to, you don't care. Everything about this place annoys you. It makes you upset. But the truth is, time is not what you think. To quote someone very brilliant, more brilliant than me, it's wibbly wobbly. Timey-wimey. Topsy-turvy. Upside down. Things don't quite make sense. They don't go in the right order all the time. Sometimes you get left in one place at one time and enter another place at a different time.
Okay, so if... No, I don't get it.
I know you don't. Anyway, become it, tag me back, gain the power of a monarch.
What did she do to fuck you over? Did she just tag you and then leave you? Is that the issue? I mean, to be fair, I can't really get rid of you.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh god. 5.
5.
You got inspiration.
No, I don't. I used it.
Oh,
I've talked enough. You've learned about me. I know about you. If you really want to know, about me, ask again. And ask as a friend. There are some games I'm tired of playing.
What if I don't know how to do that?
Well, then I have failed spectacularly.
Can I insight check?
Yeah, blinks out of existence, but you can for sure insight check.
18.
18. This was a weird conversation with the cat. Not weird in how it usually goes. The cat usually is just weird because the cat's weird. It feels like almost all swagger and like subterfuge went out of the cat. The cat seemed like tired and genuinely sad for some reason. Like on a genuine, like, not trying to fuck with you, not trying to manipulate you, just a genuine sense of someone who's been like playing for a long time. Just literally was like, I'm done playing a game. And you don't know exactly what set it off, but it just kind of happened.
Do I get any insight into like what, because like I didn't, like, if he doesn't want to play the game, like I've never wanted to play the game, like, you know, like what's the, like, what does he want from me?
I think the insight that you got was that he doesn't necessarily mean like the game of tag. He meant like something else.
Is he like that
clearly
Tim Robinson sketch with the mascot? He's like, I don't want to do this.
Kind of, yeah. He's like clearly he's talking about something other than just like the game of tag. And you've always known he's had a different long game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly he's like tired of it. But you're able to get this information. You know that Razakar is at least is working with and against, because he's, you know, it's Razakar. He's working with and against the Queen of Glass, but he's also trying, you know, as with many of people in the city, trying to double play. You of course find letters misspelled from the brothers Dumar, signifying that they are of course working for Razakar as well. Because of course they are. They work for everyone.
I am going to... Gosh, I wish I could just, like, take out my phone and, like, take a photo.
Yeah. Well.
Is there a Fable Rise equivalent in his house of a camera?
Not with the check you got, no.
With the 21, okay.
I will say this though, because you got a 30 to infiltrate, you are able to like you're able to steal some stuff. And you're pretty sure that he won't. You're pretty sure he won't miss some of these things. You know, like to even get them, they were kind of like buried deep. You don't think he's gonna find them or like miss them. You know.
I'm gonna take them, and I'm also gonna take as much incriminating stuff as possible without him, like, you know what I mean, like some things that are like enough to be like, I'm smarter than the Queen of Glass, but not significant enough that he'd be like, this is gone.
Gotcha. Understood. You have that, and you slink back to safety.
Cool.
John, what is your mid-level thing?
Probably should have been my first, but this is my next one, which is well, there are two things I'd like to do. What I'd love to do first is I'd love to spend a day, like maybe 2 days, but like spend a lot of time collecting really like really incredible ingredients, and trying to search for some rare ingredients in Fable Rise.
Okay, yeah, make this check with advantage. Make a nature check or an investigation check.
Okay. Yeah, this is my second.
Yeah, this is your second, so it's a DC 10.
Okay. I'll do investigation. Oh, also, I have a background feature. I know this is different, but I have a background feature, Passion for Food, where it says for any roll relating to finding food or ingredients, add 2d6 to the roll.
Add those 2d6, my man.
Oh yeah. I mean, like it's gonna come up ever again. Okay. All right, so it's 34.
Okay. Yeah. God, I wish my brain didn't have only have like movie references. It's
movie
such,
references are great for me.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna get this one. Anyone ever see The Last Holiday starring Queen Latifah? Because I have many times. Anyway.
When I was a kid, I had a crush on Queen Latifah. Seriously,
as you fucking
Chicago.
should.
Chicago, that's great.
There's a
Spice
whole
it up for mama.
There's a whole section. You see, that's a step on me.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I get
me.
it. I understand what it means.
See what I'm saying?
What it means now.
He views Marabella as Queen Latifah in Chicago.
Yes, that's what he does.
Matron Marabella Morton.
There is an entire section of that film which basically is that like, everyone else in like this like little town is very snooty and uptight about the food, and like stuff like that. And doesn't feel like any like passion about the food, and so when Queen Latifah comes in and is like very passionate about this food and like wants no substitutions, the French chef is like Chef Didier is so excited. This is kind of how people react to you going through the world. Like you can't taste everything, but you just have a genuine passion for this, and you are just going around looking for
not just like the ingredients, but the emotions, and you're going around looking for specific emotions, specific moments, memories, things like that, already kind of in your mind, putting together this menu.
A course kind of I planned or
Yes.
thought up.
For this course that you're planning. Not only that, they have all seen you as this hero. They know you as this hero, and then to have you be not only just this hero of this world, but that your main, like one of your main focuses, at least to them, out in public, isn't like swaggering around. It's just going around talking about ingredients, talking with people. People are like offloading rare ingredients that they have been like hoarding for a little bit to you. So basically, with that high roll,
Yeah.
when it comes to the competition, when we get into the competition, whatever ingredient you want, I'm going to just allow you to have it. Like, if you just want, like, that you have this specific emotion, or you want this specific herb, or anything like that, you just kind of were given this, and we can say, like, that's just, like, basically an ability that you have been given, because people
Amazing.
just want, like, because that roll is incredibly high for this DC.
Okay, great.
And you see people like
Amazing.
now on the, because you're going for David's, and you see people are like, well, you get like shouts of like, well, be careful, we can't wait to see what you do, can't wait to taste your food, because like no one's tasted your food yet, but now that you're like the hero of Prismere, everyone's like, well, we can't wait to taste it, like we can't wait. So there's a lot of hype around you, which might be nerve-wracking, but everyone is going out of there. They're very excited.
Great.
I will say, you do
Can
know
I take any of that excitement? Can I extract any of it?
Of course you can. Of course you
Kill
can. And I will say, you do know though that this is can be a very dangerous competition, and you have a little bit of a both buffer because you've been named hero, but also you can start to sense that there is like looming darkness and jealousy from some corners of the world. Like you can start to sense that like now that people know you and like you, it could be dangerous. Like people could be gunning for you in the competition. But okay, that's your middle priority, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I know?
I mean, that's your second priority, is what I meant.
Do I know who the judges are?
Like I said, so you know Bylantine is the head.
Valentine is one of them.
Is the head judge, and it seems like last year's winner will be one. And it seems like a panel of other very like high fae, but really from what you've heard with the
It's just Valentine's choice.
From what you've heard, it's basically just Valentine's choice. It's really like there's like other people on the panel, kind of like RuPaul. It's kind of like the panel of judges in RuPaul's Drag Race, where yeah, there are other judges, but do they get a say? No, they're there to make fun comments. It's RuPaul's choice.
Okay.
Like I said, I have references and nothing else to offer.
Great.
Any of
No,
you.
that helps a lot. Okay, there's another thing I would like to do.
Okay, this will be your third.
My third. I would like to, and I know there'll still be a check for this.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to use a spell,
Mm-hmm.
scrying.
Yeah.
On my father.
Okay. Well, first things first, let's actually do check. Are you just using it like once? Because I have to make a wisdom save, right?
Yes, and I think I probably shouldn't do it. Like I think I can only do it once. Well, that's not true. I can do it. It's a 5th level spell, so yeah, I can only do it once a day. Well, actually, if I use I can technically do it twice a day because I have a feature where I can recover.
I'll say because this is a I'll say, because this is a spell, we'll do it without like the roll as a priority. If it fails though, and you still want to do it, then we'll do a priority roll.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay,
the
so
wisdom, it's a wisdom saving throw of 17.
Okay. That, my friend, is a failure.
That's great. That's fantastic. Do you need to hear the description, or you probably?
I know Scry. You are able to get a sense of. You see him in the kitchen at Fort Olive, where he works. He is barking out orders. He is trying new recipes. You see him like slamming pots. Like, he is angry. He is furious. The entire time. Like, he is nothing is going right. And like, essentially, like, it's in his test kitchen, basically. And you look down at what he's like trying to make, and make an insight or perception check for me as you're within this scry looking at him.
That is going to be a 17.
He's trying to recreate the soup that you made better, or at least that you dumped things into, and he can't do it. He can't do it. You keep hearing him scream like, okay, what was it? He's pulling like emotions off the shelf. You see him pulling, and as like, you don't even know what it tastes like. You just see him pulling all these herbs, all these emotions wrong. And one of the things that you have now slowly started to really understand about cooking in this world, and in all worlds, is that if you can use emotions in cooking, your emotion as the chef matters. And through the scry, you can see it. It's palpable. Shame and anger and hatred, inadequacy, it's pouring itself into the recipe, into the soup, every time he tries. And there's a part of you that just like knows that, at least in this world, if he keeps trying that, he's not even gonna make it to the podium. Not even gonna make third, fourth. He's... whatever he was, whatever big star he was, that was only in your world. He'll never understand.
Got it.
But you can see that he really is very one-track minded. He's just trying his best to cook better.
Okay.
And that's all.
Okay.
You know, we will do more of this because we only got to 2 and I want to get through everything. So, but it's also almost 9, so I don't want to start everything. Does anyone have, like, what is your third priorities, just so I know? Because maybe we'll just do them quickly. So, Hannah, do you have, like, a third thing that you were looking to do?
It doesn't have to be done right now. Honestly, this was just like potentially to see if Speak with Dead would work on Edie for Pavel.
Okay.
It's Pavel, right?
It's
Which
yes.
it does not have to be done right now. Like that can be a kind of whenever.
No. I want us to do all the things we want to do, because once things start going, they'll kind of start going. You know what I mean?
Right.
In our break. So, that alone tells me, you know what? We'll get to this when we also get to Gulzog. We're gonna do another session of this, and then also in Gulzog session, the first part of it is going to be more quickly going through this a little bit faster. And then getting to the beginning of the week of festivities, which will be, I believe, the fighting pits. But also, depending on certain things, you're right, Hannah, we may be able to push that to another part within the week of festivities. We'll see. But
Okay.
John, Tone, what was another thing that you wanted to do? Just so I know. I want to just write it down so I know what we're going into.
I would probably want to try to locate the teleportation circle.
Okay.
Or try to scry and find the where the 2 is.
Those are easy. And Jasmine?
I want to potentially send off that incriminating evidence to the Queen of Glass.
You want to screw over Razakar. Understood. You know what? let's those are very easy rolls to do. Let's just do them right before we end for tonight.
Hell yeah.
John, and because yours is more of a scene, Hannah, we'll get to yours in it, because like I want to really
Totally.
get into that.
100%. 100%.
I don't want to gloss over
Say less, you're good.
So John, you want to search for the teleportation circle. Make an investigation. Is it the teleportation circle you want first, or the 2? Which one?
Let's do the teleportation circle first.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Okay.
DC 15.
26.
20. You guys. Okay. Yeah, you are able to, you actually, Tomas brings you, also, like, you're like, hey, does anyone know where at least, like, the Weavers Guild, like, the Weavers layer is also, it's apparently near, like, the, familiar patch. Tomas is like, I do, and also takes you to the familiar patch, and has not an unsimilar scene with you at the familiar patch as well, just without like the romantic undertones of it. where he also is like, oh, by the way, this is where I, all that stuff.
We touch hands and butterflies come around us. Like
yeah. Exactly. You know what? Actually, you touch hands and
and I die. And that's
no.
Cast Finger of Death.
No, actually, this is cute. Yeah, this is cute. No, it's actually stupid.
Oh, great.
He touches your hand and then casts confusion on himself, and so he's very confused for a moment.
Great.
As to why
Okay,
you're
that
here.
makes sense.
But in this moment, he does lead you, and you are able to discover not the exact location. No, you're able to find the teleportation circle. It is dormant, and you can kind of tell that. You can tell pretty quickly while looking at it that somehow it's been tipped off that we might be looking for this, and
It's a one-way. Is it a one-way in?
So it's a one-way in. Basically, how circles work is that if you know what the teleportation circle looks like, you can draw it and go to it. So you can't like.
Should I try to destroy it, or guys? Is that possible?
So I'll say this is that you look at it and you can see that it's already kind of been destroyed.
Yeah.
You don't know, and you're not exactly sure if it was destroyed by like an ally or if it was destroyed by them, but you're able to locate it.
Okay.
And you know where it is. I will say this though, you're able to destroy, if they were trying to destroy it to like keep it off people's radar, it's not destroyed enough. You are able to see the remnants of it, and if you wanted to show people, you could.
Okay.
That's good. And also, Jasmine, DC 15 persuasion check. You're sending incriminating evidence. What do you want me to do?
Persuasion.
What do you want me to? It's of course persuasion. What else would it be?
Well, I don't know. It's in his handwriting. It's pretty persuasive.
Well, but it could have been forged.
Stealth.
No, it could have been forged.
Card of the cards. 9.
9? Okay. Okay. You do send off those pieces of paper. I will say this. You already showed them. You already showed the pieces of paper to like your allies and also the press and the Goblin Reporter, just in case you needed to. So they're not like gone for you forever. They're not gone from you forever. You send off those pieces of paper, but they probably won't have any effect. At least
Can
on
we
the Queen of
publish?
Glass.
Can we publish like all the contracts that he had with all his assassins? I guess maybe they weren't written, but
that'll be another check if you want to try to do that. But anyway, we got through those, and we have more to do. Hey, gang, thank you so much for being here as we just kind of go through this fun week of downtime. We'll be back with Marty going through whatever Marty and Golzog want to do, but whatever these people all want to do, it's going to be higher DCs, as they you can only focus on so many things per week, you know? But hey, at the very least, we know one thing's for sure, is that Tomas went on basically 2 dates today, this week, and that's, what a great thing for Tomas. What a great thing. Thank you so much for being here, everyone.
He's the real hero.
Does anyone have anything they want to plug before we end off tonight? No. I'll say this. If any of you are for some reason in the Cleveland area, George, Gabe, and I are this weekend speaking and running games at Cleveland Concoction. Come down and watch us be, or really watch me be confused as to why we're there, but happy that we're there. If you want to be in my game, I'm running a game called The Wedding Party, where basically, 2 of the most legendary warriors of all time are also your best friends, and they're getting married. And your job is to make sure that they have a good wedding, and there may be ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, bad mothers of the bride, horrible DJs. Can you make sure that their shrimp isn't bad? Also, just make sure that the bride doesn't become a bridezilla. Is it a Tarask? Yes, it might be a Tarask if you make the bride mad. Okay, that's that's what you're missing. So if you're there, come on, join me for a silly game of D&D. Also, Gabe and George will be there. Anyway, we'll see you next time for episode 50 of PairOfSocks Lost. Goodbye. Goodbye now.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.